To take it one step further, even, do they go about adopting the official, like the NFL is talking about doing now, the sky judge official, who has the ability to talk down to the guys on the ice and say, hey, look, we saw this. You got to call it. Because we know they have the war room in Toronto, New York. I forget exactly where it's at now. That reviews goal calls in those situations, and they determine goal or no goal. Would you expand that to play on the ice to kind of help alleviate the pressure of some of the guys on the ice? And maybe it would do away with some of the need for makeup calls because you wouldn't be making a bad call. You'd have the benefit of video review. Or do you think it slows everything down too much? I tend to not think that way. I think they should try it out and see, because I think people would be much more grateful and benefited viewership numbers by getting the call and getting everything right than trying to just deal with the makeup calls and the way it's been.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with you. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think people just wanted to get done right? And I think when it comes to...
Now, games are long now. They're, 2.5, 3 hours long if you're watching a game on TV. Are you willing to sacrifice another maybe 30 minutes of your time?
I don't think it would be another 30 minutes. I really don't, because I think at the end of the day, like, things are going to get called, and I think the sky judge is also going to be... He's not going to be sitting there, like, with the ticky-tacky stuff, too. Right. He's only going to call clear and concise things, I think. And so, if it adds an extra 5 minutes or so, I really don't even think it will add that much. I think it just... on the clear and concise things that may be missed, I think that's where they'll step in. And I think, that can help benefit, the teams on both sides, knowing that, hey, listen, like, it's going to be exactly the way it should be called, period. And that's all people want.
Now, Gumpy, you are a noted critic of VAR because they have fucked up some egregious calls that should have been very simple and very easy to make. Does VAR do penalties too, or is it just goals?
No, so now they go over everything.
Everything. Okay, yeah. So this is basically what we're talking about here. It's been implemented in soccer, and I don't watch enough.
It's such a touching.
Biased off your tweets.
It's such a touch and go thing though, because like when they have an offside, you know what I mean? Like when a ref would call an offside, now it's like they put out a 3D line.
Yeah.
And you literally got guys' arms like this, and it's like 1 fucking inch, and it's like. Yeah, it's offside, but...
So they're getting too granular with it, much like the NHL did to a lot of people's chagrin.
With the
offsides.
Skate coming up off the ice.
Yes, and so they adjusted the rule to have the skate be basically adopting breaking the plane of the end zone rules. And your skate is above the blue line, you're basically onside still. So there's those tweaks definitely that you'd have to go through the growing pains and whatnot. But I do think it would help alleviate some of this disaster in terms of... This is a big egg yolk on the league's face, whether they want to admit it or not, whether they can get by with having the draggers and the sutters and the old guard saying, look, that doesn't happen, or, yeah, it does happen, but that's the dirty little secret. That's the way they want it to happen, and they'll figure it out on the ice. It's like, well, I don't think people who gamble on these games and watch these games want to hear that. I think they want accountability, and I think they want consistency, and I think they're done with the bullshit that you just keep spewing out, because that statement from Colin Campbell, those are nice words to read on a piece of paper, but I don't think it's going to change the way the game is officiated. So, unfortunately, Tim Peel, rightly or wrongly, I think rightly now, becomes a martyr in the sense that, yeah, he fucked up and a mic caught him, and if that mic wouldn't have been on, nothing would have changed. Game would have kept going the same way it's been going for 100 years now, and we would have went on about our days, because in the grand scheme of things, it was a 2-0 win by the Predators. There wasn't really anything else fishy that happened in the game. I think they ended up with 4 penalties in Detroit, 3. It might have been the other way around, but it wasn't like an egregious difference in penalties. So I think it's by circumstance and by luck that this happened, and we get to talk about it, and the league has to address it. But they addressed it. Will we see the change? I doubt it. We'd like to see it. I just don't think it's going to happen.